raw images? There's a short answer and a long answer to this. The short answer is at the time of this recording, we don't have the updates for all the different raw converters, and the jury is out. I can't honestly say I know which one is the best. A video I want you to take a look at is on my YouTube channel. That will explain the architectural differences between something like a Fuji X-T3 or an X-T2 versus a CMOS sensor. The sensor layout is very different, and so the raw converters are not used to this. Photoshop and Lightroom are very easy to use. They're very intuitive, but from what I've seen already, when I get into the higher ISOs on the X-T3, they struggle with the processing. So I need to test out a couple others and to really know which one's the best. I know you guys don't want to hear that, but there's On One, there's Silky Pix, there's Raw Therapy. There's a bunch of these different raw converters, and one of them usually ends up being the best, probably going to be better as a YouTube video. But the short answer is, for speed, Lightroom and Photoshop are okay when you are under, let's say, ISO 800, ISO 640, probably not gonna have any problems using those. And that's kind of my train of thought is, for speed reasons, I like to use Lightroom. But if you're actually looking at the quality of the image, you might want to use a different raw converter or processor. So the problem with Lightroom and Photoshop RAW is that most of the time those are designed for CMOS sensors. It's a different interpolation method. And so in the conversion process, it's not really, those engines aren't really designed for X-Trans. And so if you look at past Fuji cameras, a lot of people have complained about Lightroom and Bridge, and I typically use Bridge RAW. And so I'm already starting to see some noise grain that I'm not happy with in these higher ranges. So that's the thought, is the speed, yeah, it's there, it works, but you may not get the best processing out of Lightroom or Bridge, at least at the time of this recording. Maybe there'll be an update, I don't know. JPEGs are processed in camera, so there's that. And so what I end up doing on important shoots is I'll shoot RAW and JPEG just to kind of cover both bases. And I'll pull in the RAW files, process them a little bit, see how they look, and if they're good enough, then I'll convert them to JPEGs. If not, the JPEG conversion in camera is pretty outstanding for the Fujis. Keep an eye on my YouTube channel. When I have a better idea, I'll publish a video and say this is kind of the one that is working for me. And a bunch of people will probably be upset about it. But in any event, that's what's going on with the raw converters.